Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. Where are you in England right now?
So we live in Watford, which is about 20 minutes outside of London. So
Okay,
it's kind of
nice.
a small town just outside of London.
Right. How far from that is Hertfordshire from there? Because I know that's where you guys started, right?
Yeah, so Watford's in Hertfordshire.
Oh, okay.
So we're still at home, really.
Nice.
I never left.
Yeah. I mean, we do have some plans to kind of migrate to LA at some point, I think. So,
Nice.
but obviously, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So why don't we just jump right into it? What got you into music, Ryan?
Wow, what got me into music? I think what got me into definitely wanting to be in a band and be on stage was, I think, back in 2008, 2009, I went to my first ever festival with my sister, her husband, and loads of their friends. And I was about 17 at the time. And there was loads of artists, obviously, but Kings of Leon, who are one of my favorite bands, headlined the night. And yeah, just being there in that atmosphere and like singing along and how loud it was and just how great it was. And I can remember looking up at them and just thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to give that feeling back, the other way. And then before that, I was, I used to play a lot of football, as we do over here. And then I remember being maybe like 13 or 14 and like playing a match and running around the pitch, but just not even being aware and just like singing songs in my head. And I remember running around and I was just like, I probably shouldn't be playing football anymore if I'm just running around singing to myself. So.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, if you think about it in reverse, if you're playing in a band and you're thinking about playing soccer the whole time, maybe you should be playing soccer.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, my dad was in bands and stuff when he was younger at school. So yeah, he's a big musical influence for me.
Were you already kind of playing music, or did you have like a guitar or a piano in the house when you saw that first Kings of Leon show, or were you, or did that kind of inspire you to get some instruments?
I was in a band at the time. It was with, it was with Dan, who is in the Hunna now. But it was before we were called the Hunna. We were called, I mean, me and Dan started off when we were, like 15, 16, in little pubs in Watford. And first of all, we were called There Lies History, which was a kind of a more post-hardcore kind of Emarosa, Dance Gavin Dance kind of vibe.
Sure.
And then we went into that was a 5-piece, and we went into a 4-piece, which was called Alaska Campus around the time of the festival that I went to. So yeah, I mean, we were playing for a long time, and we're at college studying music, but that I always knew that I wanted to do music, but I wasn't entirely sure that it was to be on a stage and sing or what aspect of music it was. But yeah, that was the first moment where I was like, okay, it's definitely being in a rock band.
Right. So Kings of Leon kind of pushed you over the edge of, all right, I want to be a rock star.
For sure, yeah.
Have you had the opportunity to maybe meet them in passing yet or anything and let them know what a big influence they've been?
Well, I've had a few. Well, I don't know. I think there's only one time that I've myself come across them. It was pretty cool, but I didn't get enough chance to tell them how much of an influence they were. But we played a festival called Summer Sessions in Scotland. I think it must have been 2 years ago now, and all of our family had come because it was kind of going full circle, seeing Kings of Leon at a
Yeah.
festival, wanting to be in a band after that. And then, years later, they were headlining that festival, and we were on maybe 2 or 3 people before them. So, my sister and everyone came, and it was like a real big occasion for us. And after they played, I went to the back of the stage to see if I could talk to them. And I was kind of standing there, and then they walked off, and Nathan, the drummer, and Jared, the bassist, kind of walked past. And I was about to say something, and then Nathan took his drum gloves off and chucked them at me. And he was like, "Here you go, kid." And I just picked up the bottom, and I was just like, "I'll take that. I'll just leave it at that."
Yeah. That'll be good enough for this time, and maybe have a longer conversation next time.
Yeah, I've still got his
awesome.
drum gloves somewhere. They're very cool. They were actually golf clubs because he plays a lot of golf, I know. So our old radio plugger, Billy Burrs, who used to work at 300 with us, he had done Kings of Leon for years and years. So we were always kind of talking to him like, "Oh, can we meet them? Where are they?" Blah, blah, blah. So he's always been trying to hook us up. I actually did say, I shouted to them. I was like, "Oh, Billy Burrs told me to say hi to you, by the way." And then Nathan was like, "Billy Burrs?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Fucking awesome."
Yeah, hell yeah. There you go.
That was it.
Nice. Well, it's nice that it was a nice meeting. Sometimes they say it's scary to meet your idols because if they don't live up to that, if they're not nice, then all of a sudden the music's ruined. So at least they were nice, and you can continue that inspiration.
Yeah.
So I read that some of your guys' other at least inspirations or maybe people that you consider people statuses that you'd like to achieve are like the Foo Fighters or like the 1975. Have you had the pleasure of meeting any of those guys, Dave Grohl or anyone Matt in 1975 yet?
These are actually really good questions because normally people ask questions about who we've met, and it's always we either haven't met them or we just don't have a story. But all of the people you're asking, I've met.
Oh, so, all right.
Not for very long. I mean, we played Main Stage Reading and Leeds Festival last year, and we were, because Foo Fighters would play the day after us at Reading, I think. Mm-hmm. So the day that we were on, we were just in the backstage bit, and then someone ran in our dressing room and was like, "Dave Grohl's outside." And I was like, "What?" And then we walked outside. Dave Grohl was just like walking around the little enclosure. So that was just mind blowing. And then trying to pluck up the confidence to say something because he's Dave Grohl. Obviously everyone there just wants to touch him or talk to him. So I just quickly kind of said, "Hey, just want to say thank you for your music. It's a massive influence on us." And and he just said, "Thank you very much, kid," and that was it. But he was super nice. Obviously, I'd love to have a longer convo, maybe play with them one day. Who knows what will happen?
Sure.
And then Matty and the 75 boys, we used to rehearse at a studio that's no longer there now in London, and the Dirty Hit record label was just across the road. So there was a few times. The first time we were outside just having a smoke, and Matty walked past. So we were like, "Oh, there's Matty," and then he kind of looked over and he was like, "I know you," and we were like, "Oh yeah," and he was like, "You're Hunna, right?" We were like, "Yeah." So he started walking over and he was like, Can I bum a cigarette?" We were like, "Yeah." So just sat down, had a cigarette, and we've been to a few of their O2 Arena shows. Me and Dan were backstage at one of the O2 Arena shows, and Matty's mum was there, and then it was me, Dan, Matty's mum, and her boyfriend, and then she left her bags with us, so we looked after Matty's mum's bags. She was super nice. She's lovely. So yeah, weird situations, but it's a fun life.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great. I mean, you've ran into a few of your heroes now. So I actually really like how you said you met Dave Grohl, which was just it was. I think that's a nice way for a lot of people to meet the people they look up to, is just to come up to them and say thank you. I think a lot of people don't. They search for the words, like you said. You were kind of thinking about what to say, but I think thank you is probably the best thing you could say to someone who you look up to or who's inspired you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess there's so much to say to a man like that, but the biggest one is just thank you for what he's given to all of us, you know. So
Sure. Yeah, I remember it actually it was last year. I've had a couple of friends, some friends and I, we had just come from a concert and we saw Dave Grohl outside of a bar, and he was talking on his cell phone or something. So we were like, I really wanted to talk to him, but we're like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna bug him. And so we're just like, all right. The bar was actually closed for a private event that he was at, and then so we were on our phones pulling up an Uber to go to the next bar or something like that. And as we're waiting, he comes up to us, and because we actually had come from an Iron Maiden concert, so we had Iron Maiden T-shirts on, and he just came up to us and was like, "Guys, I got to ask you, how was the show?" And
wow.
So he was the coolest guy. He talked to us for like a good 5 minutes, and I fangirled on him for a little bit, just telling him all the stuff I've loved that he's done, and he was just like the coolest guy. So
yeah, he's super real, down to earth dude.
Definitely. So the first, so you and Dan were already in a band together, and then I like that. I like the name the Hunna even more after hearing that it was kind of slang for 100. Like, give me 100.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
did that come from? I'm not as familiar with British slang. Is that British slang, or is it? Because I feel like it's a little hip hop slang too, right?
It is. I mean, yeah, we we listen to a large variety of music anyway, and we've always been influenced by hip hop. The first two records were kind of more just organic, raw rock and roll, but we always wanted to, experiment and try lots of new things. But we were in a bit of a difficult situation with who we were represented by, so it took a while for us to be in a position where we could totally be free and kind of explore that. So especially for me vocally as well, like my biggest influences as a vocalist are people like Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Sade, The Weeknd. Like my vocal taste is obviously, I love the rock, like Kings of Leon, Caleb and Dave and stuff, but mostly I'll find myself just kind of singing R&B or soul stuff. So it was nice to, on this album, be able to mix with that. And yeah, we always just, because Jack joined, our drummer, and he's a massive hip hop head. Like, he listens to Chicago drill music. He reads all the Chicago tribunals and reads about all the Chicago rap scene and what's going on with that. So he would educate us with that, and then the Keep It at Hunna just started coming, and we'd always just say 100 to each other, like, oh, the party was 100, or just stuff like that. And then we were trying to think of a name to kind of move us on from Alaska Campus, because Jack kind of joined towards the end of Alaska Campus, and we wanted to go in a different direction. So we wanted to pick a name that was really, that we thought summed us up and the vibe and was strong. And one day we just said, why don't we just put the in front of Hunna, and it just felt right. It just sounded right to us, and we ran with it. And then now we're signed to 300 in New York, which is a hip hop predominant label. Which was dope for us. That was super exciting to be asked to join artists like Young Thug and Gunner and stuff like that. It's awesome. So it just kind of spiraled, and it's become this entity, I guess.
That's awesome. So tell us about how did you and Dan meet? You were already in a band together. Was it in college that you guys met?
Yeah, so we went to separate schools, and then we joined the same college. I was kind of, again, the college thing was with me. I was my friend at school was really into, he was already playing guitar, and he was already kind of more advanced guitar wise than me, and was already in bands and stuff. And I was still, I knew I loved music, but I didn't know what I wanted to do still. So after school, I was like, okay, I don't really know where I'm heading, but I just followed my friend to the college that he was doing a music course, and I was like, okay, I'll come along. And I went in, sung 2 songs, they asked me some questions, and then that was it. I was in the college course. So I just kind of, I was kind of like, okay, cool. And then went along and met Dan, and then me and Dan kind of connected and just hit it off straight away. And we were always on the same wavelength, always on the same page. We knew what we wanted to create, how we wanted to sound, and we had very similar tastes in music as well. So it just kind of, naturally happened, and we were just kind of relentless, just getting in everyone's faces, playing everywhere we could, working however many jobs to pay for music videos and recording and stuff like that, and just kind of get out there, calling up newspapers and magazines, being our own press agents.
Yeah.
We just kind of took it by the horns and was just like, at some point this is going to kick off, because even from a very, very early age, the music that we were making, I don't know, we just really believed that it can progress and that people would like it, and now we're here.
Yeah. So you guys started around 2015. I feel like you guys, were you guys working a little bit before that? Because I feel like you picked up a lot of steam just around 2016. So did it feel like that, or do you feel like you were really kind of hustling it for a little while before that?
There was definitely a massive hustle before that. I think, obviously, in 2015 was when all the Hunna pages and everything kind of went live to the world. So it was the first time that people had known anything about us. So obviously, to those people, it seems like it's just sprung out of nowhere and is the song. But there was years and years. There was probably, obviously we were in bands touring ourselves for ages, and then we started getting interest from publishers and labels and managements, and we had so many times, maybe 4 or 5 times of rehearsing non-stop, and then someone from management would come down and we'd set up our own lights and try and do this whole big show and really kill it, because this was our opportunity. And every time, we did a really good job, but things just, even though people were like, yeah, things are going to happen, it kind of looked like it was happening, and it kind of just dwindled away, or those people didn't or weren't as keen as we wanted them to be. And then there was one that we thought we'd done it. I remember taking the guitar off and being like, that's it, we've done it. We've got to have done it, that's it. And then we sat down and the guy was like, you guys are great. You've got a great look. Music's great. We could definitely produce it and progress it more. But I've just had to re-sign the Sugar Babes, so I don't have too much money right now to invest into another band. And we were like, the Sugar Babes? Come on. Come on, man. What happened to them? And they got re-released and they broke up again. So, but yeah, there was a lot of bitter pills to swallow. I remember going back to Dan's house after that. And obviously all of us very deflated. But then within an hour or two, we were just like, no, man, fuck that guy. If he wants to do that and he doesn't believe in it, then someone else will. And we just kept going. We're very lucky that even before the band got signed and released in 2015 and stuff, there was a good 3-4 years where we were just, we were signed, but nobody knew about us. We didn't have any music online. We weren't allowed to put music online because it was all being saved for when we're ready and a release. So there was like 2-3 years of us just continuously writing music, but not really having an income, because the goal was, if you have anything else to distract you, you're not gonna get to at that point. So it was definitely hard financially and for our families and stuff, but you know, we've always said, you know, you have to sacrifice a lot for this business and for your dreams. So yeah, we just kind of just kept putting everything into it. So yeah, there was a lot of ups and downs, but we finally got there and got someone to believe in us.
Yeah, so you were signed for a little while before they actually put out the record. Then did that feel like a turning point when you got your record deal, or were you still uneasy about things, not knowing when the music was going to come out?
I mean, obviously at the time, and for trying for so long, you know, any artist or musician, especially bands, will say that if someone comes to you and you finally get an offer for a deal, and it seems legit, then obviously it's so exciting. And we were really excited. But the thought for us was, okay, we're going to sign the deal, and then, you know, we've got these songs, we're going to, you know, we could be out in 2 months or 3 months, and yeah, let's go. But yeah, it wasn't the case. It was frustrating for us because, you know, it felt like we were writing so many songs. We had like hundreds and hundreds of songs, and still kind of, you know, not allowed to be released yet because it's all got to be perfect and structured, which is fine. And then yeah, it was frustrating, but you know, when we finally did get the call that we were finally going to release everything, we put out Bonfire and She's Casual, and then very quickly went on our first support tour in the UK. And it just really spiraled from there, really. As soon as we put up the first 2 songs that we were really confident about, we knew they were special, and we knew that they had something. And then, you know, people were just commenting on our Facebook and saying really nice things about the music. And for us, after all this time, it was like, wow, people were actually talking to us and saying that they love it. So, you know, we were just being ourselves and being like, oh my God, thank you so much, and talking to them back. And then I think that then spiraled more, because at the time I don't think there was a lot of bands kind of interacting that much on social media at that point. So then, you know, more friends of friends got told, and then it just became this real kind of special community from the off of just hanging out with friends, really. Like, there's so many fans now from those days that we still see, and they follow us around on tour, and, you know, we just chat to them, and they tell us, you know, things that are going wrong in their lives, or people that they've lost and they're suffering, and the music helps, and we talk to them about it because we've experienced those things as well. So yeah, it just kind of snowballed very quickly. And yeah, we were just loving it, really. We just, you know, we put everything into every live show and everything we do. That's why we're called the Hunna. We give 100%. So
it was pretty soon after, you know, that release that you guys went on, you performed at Reading and Leeds Festival and Dot to Dot Festival, so and performed on BBC introducing stage, so it seems like you guys, you know, once you finally did put the music out, you guys had these like really huge opportunities right out of the gate. I imagine that was pretty exciting.
It was very exciting. We've had a hell of a time. I think when it first started, obviously you learn quite a bit as you go on, because at first it was just crazy, and we were just like, this is all of our dreams come true right now, the opportunities that were coming along. And yeah, we were just grabbing them and killing every moment we had, and then celebrating a hell of a lot after all of it. So
I was just about to say, because I know I love that you guys kind of embrace the rock and roll lifestyle. So do you feel like there was a steep increase in the rock and roll lifestyle that you guys are living, and the quote unquote celebrations afterwards?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, even before the band, we like celebration. I think we all, again, because we're all so close and our families are close, you know, we were all 4 of us were born in the same hospital. Jack went to the same college, but a few years before us. Janae's known Dan from school since they were like 6 years old. So we've really grown up together, really, and just experienced everything, not just band, but just as human beings. You know, we've all been through a lot and all got through it together. So once we were in the position where, oh my God, people are loving the music, you know, we're getting to play all these shows. I'm standing on stage and people are singing songs back to me like I was watching Kings of Leon do it at the V Festival, you know. It's very hard not to get caught up in it, and you should get caught up in it, you know. We deserve it, so we're going to take every moment of it. I mean, there's a certain degree, obviously, as you carry on and things get bigger and there's more eyes and bigger shows that, you know, sometimes you have to try and take a little less rock and roll approach so that you actually get some sleep so you can perform well for everyone. But yeah, I mean, we just love having fun and we love every minute of doing what we do. So
yeah, it's exciting. And so you guys, you know, you went on to tour with Jimmy Eat World and Night Riots and the Shelters. How did those go? Any fun stories from the Hunna from those?
That was so good. Again, that was like probably one of our favorite times of being a band so far, was that whole time, because we were in America. I think it was maybe the first time, or like, I think we'd been to America for like a week or 2 weeks before, so this was like a proper big stint. And again, one of our dreams was always to go to America. It's such a, you know, iconic place, especially for music. So that was just dope for us, and we were there for like 3 months. Started off with Jimmy Eat World, which was mind-blowing. They're like, yeah, we grew up listening to them. So yeah, when we found out we were playing that, we were like, oh my God. And then I remember getting there the first day, and we were in Columbus, and we walked in and they were sound checking, and we just had our bags and we just walked in. They were sound checking this new song, and the riff was so good. It sounded amazing. They were so tight, and we all just kind of stood and put our bags down and just watched them. And then everyone was just doing their thing, and then they finished the sound check. We were just like, whoa, yeah! Kind of standing there like, hey guys, we're like, yeah, we're the Hunna. Hi, thanks for having us. But yeah, I mean, they taught us a lot. You know, obviously they've got so much experience, and being a part of that and seeing their fans, you know, obviously they're older now, but the vibe at the shows was like they had just started again. It was amazing.
Nice.
And they're super talented. And then we went on to do the All Nation tour with Night Rise and the Shelters, which again was legendary. I mean, we made friends with both bands, but Night Riots have a very soft spot in our hearts. Yeah, we had to bring them on tour with us in the UK, because we just loved them so much. We just got on with them immediately. And yeah, I mean, pretty much after every show of that radio tour, everyone was just on our bus, doing lots of naughty things.
Lots of celebrating.
Things. Yeah, fun naughty things, you know, but it was so good. Yeah, like it was amazing for us again to be an English band and to be new in our career, and then go to somewhere like America and find a band like Night Riots who were just so open and, you know, kind of like us, and we just clicked straight away. And we were both bands just living in the same kind of dream world and just enjoying each other's company, and, you know, we'll be friends till the day we die, for sure.
Right. There was probably a little more maybe organic camaraderie there, since you guys are both newer bands, whereas Jimmy Eat World has been established for a while. So there's probably some mutual stoke going on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So very exciting. I know you guys recorded the latest album with John Feldman. How did that come about?
That came about through our label 300. They obviously have known John for quite a while. I mean, he's recorded so many iconic bands and
Sure.
had so many amazing albums.
Yeah, Blink 182, Black Veil Brides,
Yeah,
Refused,
21
yeah,
Pilots.
21 Pilots, yeah, more recently,
Yes.
and
Yeah, Good Charlotte.
yeah. So a lot of huge
Crazy.
stuff.
Fever 333, you know.
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah. Panic at
the Disco, five seconds
Five Soft,
Summer, yeah.
So yeah, he's, you know, his reputation precedes him, and we, again, first time for us to go outside of the UK and make music, which was really refreshing for us, and something that we've always wanted to do. And yeah, we found out about his previous work, and we were really excited, and we went out to LA for like 2 weeks and had a few sessions with other producers and songwriters and people in bands like Steve Aiello from 30 Seconds to Mars. We wrote a track with him, which was super cool. That was the first day we were in LA. And yeah, so it was just, again, a really overwhelming experience to just be Watford boys just planted in LA, like, okay, third album, let's do this. And we knew that it was going to be, you know, quite a bit different to the first two records. So we knew what we wanted to project and the story we wanted to tell, but finding someone that he'd never met and had no connection to and is from a totally different world,
Right.
you know, who knows what's going to happen. But we had the sessions, and the last 2 days we were with Feldy, and yeah, we got there, we wrote 3 songs in one day. One of them we wrote in 20 minutes, and it's the second song on the album. It's one of our favorite songs we've ever written.
Wow.
Yeah, he does not waste a minute. And that was the first day. We were like, halfway through the day, we were like, wow, we've written like 2 amazing songs. Like, this is going so well. Can't wait for tomorrow. And we only had 20 minutes left of the session, and he like comes out and he's like, right, we've got 20 minutes left, espressos, and let's go. We were like, all right, shit, let's do this. And then we did, and it went amazing. And the next day we wrote more songs, and yeah, we just immediately, he just really understood how we wanted to blend stuff and how we wanted to sound on this new record, and the energy that he gave us and we gave him, we just all clicked, really. And very naturally, again, like the Night Riots thing, and it's just very natural. And yeah, I couldn't imagine my life without Feldy now. He's a huge part of the Hunna for sure, and we will definitely work together again. Yeah, he's amazing.
That's exciting. And so is it because of John's connection with Blink that you guys got linked up with Travis, or was that another label connection, or because your newest single features Travis Barker? So how did that come about?
Yeah, that
also
was
very exciting.
yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's been a crazy year and a bit, really. There's been so much that has happened, positive and negative. Like starting off with our previous representatives, let's call them, and then going into, and then kind of transitioning into this now. So yeah, it's been amazing. But the Travis thing, yeah, that was Feldy. You know, Feldy's a good friend of his. Feldy had said, you know, oh, Travis is going to come down, and you know, he wants to be a part of the track, and blah blah blah. And we were obviously like, yeah, this is amazing, let's do it. And obviously Travis is a busy guy, so the days that we were like, oh god, he's coming in, we were like constantly looking at the door, and then he's like, oh, he can't come today because this and this, and we were like, okay. And then we kind of just got really into the album, and then one day we were in the studio with Femme, who, I don't know if you know her, but she's featured on the album as well. And then Feldy's like FaceTiming someone, and it's Travis, and Travis just got out of the shower, and he's like, I'll be over in 2 minutes. We were like, okay, this is
Here
it.
we go.
Travis is coming.
Yeah.
And then it was crazy. I mean, he came in, and I was just kind of staring at him. At first, I thought it was Daniel coming in from outside, And then I was like talking and asking a question, and I looked up and it was Travis, and I was like, oh, okay, man, what's up? How you doing? But he was, yeah, I mean, as you can probably imagine, super chill, super smooth, super cool dude, like amazing to watch on the drums. Holy shit, it's incredible. He's like, yeah, I've never seen anything like it. He's a machine. The best of the best. So yeah, if you told us again when we were 15, 16 in college starting that Travis Barker would be on the album with us, you know, we probably wouldn't believe you. So it's been a crazy dream.
Yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, he seems like a really down to earth, chill guy.
Yeah.
So a few of the, do you feel like there were a few turning points in a few you know, recognizable turning points in the Hunna? You know, it sounds like, you know, the getting signed to the label was one of them. And it sounds like John Feldman was another more recent one, because obviously you want to work with him again. Do you, looking back, do you feel like there were some other significant turning points? You know, times when you kind of felt that shift where you're like, okay, you know, this is the next level here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Last year when we did Main Stage Reading in Leeds, that was a huge moment for us, and just kind of really showed us, you know, where we're almost, you know, where we are starting to climb to the even higher heights where we want to go. So that was really special. That was mind blowing, and yeah, that really gave us a lot more confidence, and especially after the stuff with the previous label, and you know, there was like 6 or so months where, you know, we didn't know if we could release music and tour and stuff like that because of the old label, and what had happened. And it, you know, it really does play with you mentally and emotionally. So it was really tough to kind of fight through that and find the strength to, you know, not keep going, but there's just when you're dealing with lawyers and it's like, oh, we might be able to do this, and then it's another month down the line, it's like, what the hell's going on? When you just want to get out and do what you love, which is tour and make music, and someone's trying to stop you doing that just out of spite, is not a nice place to be. So yeah, things like the Reading and Leeds show definitely kind of built us back up, I think. And I think, again, going over to LA and making the album and being around people like Travis and Josh Dunn and I think, and again, the main thing was when we put out the post about, you know, that we were going to have to take a bit of time out to kind of, you know, fight and free ourselves of the situation we were in. The response from the fans was, I think, the biggest part, because it was scary for us to make that decision to take some time out, and you know, would they understand and would they sympathize? And they did 100%. They were, you know, sending us so many lovely messages and videos of them with old merch with the old record label's name, crossing it out and burning it and stuff, and you know, which is amazing, that, you know, that connection from when we first put out the first song and going back and forth with fans and how that happened. It's still there, and yeah, we owe a lot to that kept us going. Yeah.
Do you, so it sounds like it definitely, like when you do a festival like that, it definitely, you know, brings you back up mentally. Did you see when you did those first few huge festivals, did you see kind of like a quantifiable difference in your engagement and maybe your streams and your merch and everything? Did you feel like an impact after those types of festivals?
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, kind of like anywhere we go, no matter, obviously the big festivals are where you see a lot more of it, but even when we go to places like Prague or Vienna, where we've only been, you know, once or twice, and the venues are a lot smaller, still the atmosphere and the connection with the crowd, and you can just tell after a show, like after every show, we stay behind for however long and go outside and meet all the fans and get pictures and stuff and talk to them. And just doing that every night really gives you a good sense and an openness with them to see how much the show's had an impact on them. So that's good for us to see, because after every show, everyone's so amazing and they say how they've got their friend onto us and they're going to tell this person. And you definitely see it happen very quickly, the support going up and up. So, I mean, touring's the massive main part of it for us. So yeah, we just can't wait to get back out on tour and just keep spreading Hunna mania, really.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I like to call it.
Hunna mania. Tara, Tara's been bumping your newest release for the past week, I think, or for the past couple of days since it was released.
Well, thank you.
Yes, on repeat. And I was like, I wonder if, the label story inspired Dark Times. So sounds about right.
Yeah, I think the whole album, like this third album, we like to call our own Hunna horror story, is what we're calling it. So yeah, it's definitely an album about the old label and a lot of anger and a lot of dark times, I guess, but also finding strength within that and resilience and revenge, I guess. There's a good bit of revenge is what the album's about, because we definitely did good to get out of that. But I mean, Dark Times is definitely about that, but it's also mainly about, I mean, obviously wrote it before this current situation that we're all in, but it kind of makes even more sense now. But it was more so about the dark and shit acts and terrible acts that we all encounter everywhere around the world, and kind of feeling just a bit helpless with it all and lost with it all. But then, like now, in these hard, dark times, even though we're so far apart and we're isolating, we're also uniting and we're together more than ever, I think. So it's about finding resilience within that as well. So
yeah, I was talking about, when the lockdowns first started, I found myself connecting kind of in, not in a physical way, but connecting with people I haven't talked to in an intimate way for a long time, calling up old friends and just having long, intimate conversations like I hadn't had with them for a long time. So it is nice in some ways. Silver lining anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think you have to kind of pull things like that out. I think that is one of the nicer things about this situation, is that not that it forces you to, but people that obviously you still love and have a relationship with, but life just kind of gets in the way. We all have that, and you have to do your thing, but it doesn't change anything. But it's nice that in this situation, those people are kind of coming back. I've had it too, talking to a lot of my old school friends and talking about old times, and one of them just actually had a baby kind of just as our lockdown started. They had a baby, so that was pretty crazy. So that's been cool. I haven't spoken to them for quite a long time properly, because obviously God knows how many years we've just been touring around the world and all of this, and they're kind of doing their thing, so I don't get much time to kind of connect or see them as much. So in that respect, it's been nice to catch up with people.
Sean and I are actually brother and sister, and I'm also a mom of two, and Adam's taking care of the kids right now. But I just wanted to say that your music, I do feel that you give 100%, because it makes me like want to, it brings good tears to my eyes. Like I really feel like it's like that, like high, where you're thinking about things that maybe make you sad, but then you do provide hope. And I really resonated with your song Mother, not only because I'm a mom. I don't know how it feels to lose a parent. But Sean and I, we had that experience when our dad had a stroke a month or two ago, and he got the call from me, and we literally had 5 minutes to decide whether he was going to have surgery or not. And just like listening to that song, like it's amazing. It makes me cry, but like it makes me smile inside that you're just such an amazing person. And you also, I noticed, you don't cuss. Like there's one song about getting high, but it's like you provide that for everybody.
Oh, well, that is amazing. Thank you so much. I mean, that is exactly, why we make music. And that, especially that song, Mother, that was just me writing about my experience in the situation. It was more so for me to just kind of write it and let it out. Yeah, we had that song, way before the second album and it came out. And we just put it together ourselves, and it was just a really nice moment for us. And like all the other boys were just like, wow, that is like so powerful and so just, perfect because they obviously knew my mum and stuff. And it was just a kind of release for us. And then we always wanted other people to hear it because, music is the biggest healer, I think, especially for me, definitely with losing my mum. And even recently, a few months ago in February, my sister suddenly lost her husband, which is my brother-in-law, which was a massive shock. And yeah, life is unpredictable. So yeah, you just really gotta live and love and be honest and be real. And that's what we can do with our music, is just, give everyone else some hope or some peace and just connect. I just love connecting with people. And there's so many other people, that have lost their mothers or lost anyone that message me and say similar things. So thank you. I'm so glad that we can help in some way.
Thank you. We definitely feel it, and it's amazing. Not many artists can do that for me, and you are one of them.
Wow, thank you so much. Well, when all this is over, we'll have a great old show.
Yes.
And you guys will come down. It'd be awesome.
Yes.
That'd be great. We'd love to see you, San Diego or Los Angeles or wherever you guys may
we'll
be.
travel to you.
Yeah. We'll come out there.
Well, I think we're gonna, because John Feldman's in LA and we've got a lot of friends out there now, so we're probably going to spend a lot of time out there when all this is over. So yeah, we'll definitely give you a shout.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan. Been fans for years now. If you had a piece of advice, like one solid piece of advice to give to aspiring musicians, what would that be? It's tough. Just be, just one of those, any important lesson that you've learned along the way that you thought was valuable.
I would say the biggest piece of advice and the simplest piece of advice I could give is to, number one, don't be afraid to be confident and let, a lot of people misintrude confidence as arrogance. Mm-hmm. But I think being a musician, you've got to have so much confidence in yourself and your music and what you're doing.
Sure.
And if you believe in it, then other people will believe in it 100%. And no plan B. Give it everything you've got. Plan A, no plan B. Just keep working at it, keep hacking it down, keep creating. Just try and, think about yourself and where you want to go. And if you picture it and put the work in, you'll definitely get there. Just annoy people as well. We annoyed so many labels, so many magazines, just constantly sending them stuff until they would take notice and we'd get a little feature or whatever. But yeah, I think there's nothing else. If you want it that bad, you just you got to just put everything into it and grab it by the balls.